number one question is find the equation. Yeah. So find the equation of the line that passes through these points. So the first one, A, is 3 and 5. And -5 and -3. And then I'm going to do another one, and I'm going to call it E because there's no E there. It's 3 and 5 and -5 and 5. And finding the equation in slope or slope intercept form. And also, so that's the first one, I, and then also we want them in general form. Okay. So now to find the equation of A, so I'm just gonna here divide this into 2 parts so we could do these questions. Now, Jumana, the question goes to you. What should I be doing first with this? If I want to find the equation of the line that goes through these 2 points, what do I need to be doing first? You could say you don't know.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, that's fine. Nigar. Yes or no, Nigar?
Isn't like the slope interform, right? So like it's y equals mx plus b.
Yeah, but before we even go there, we cannot go there yet. We have to do one thing before that.
Find the x and y intercepts.
No, you can't do that. Now I'm gonna ask Taha. Taha, do you know what we should do first? Without
I think he isn't here right now.
oh, Taha is not here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to ask everybody, what's this equation right here? What's this equation right here? What does M stand for? M.
Intercept.
What is that?
Intercept.
No. So this equation is an important equation in the linear the linear equations chapter. And it's a very important equation when you're dealing with straight lines. This equation is the slope. M stands for the slope. Because when we have y equals mx plus b, m is the slope. And b is the y-intercept. So you cannot forget that, guys. When I say what's this, that's m, that's the slope. So the first thing I need to know about these 2 points, if I have 2 points, which is one is at 3 and 5, which is right here, and the other one is at -5 and -3, and there's a line that connects these 2 points, and I want to find the equation of this line, the first thing I need to find out is what the slope is. Like, what's the slope of this equation, of this line? How do I find out? By using this equation that's given to me, which is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now I should go to my points here and label them. Label this as x1, y1, and this as x2, y2. And after that, I'm just filling in everything in here. So y2, which is -3, minus y1, which is the 5, so -5. And then x2, which is -5, minus x1, which is 3. So here I'm getting -8 on the top, and I'm getting -8 on the bottom. So therefore, -8 divided by -8 is +1. Now, I found out what the slope is, so I'm going to start going to this equation and placing the slope by 1. So it's 1x plus b. Have we finished? No, we haven't. We have to find b now. To find b, I take one of these points here and use it to find b. So either this or this. Welcome to this. If you like working with negatives, for me, I'll choose this. I'll choose the 3 and 5 because that is an x and a y coordinate. So I need an x and a y. I know the y is 5 and the x is 3. So I just sub them into here. And y is 5 equals 1 and x is 3. So 1 times 3 plus b. Now 1 times 3 is 3. And then if I move the 3 to the other side, it becomes 5 minus 3 equals b. And therefore, b equals 2. And therefore, the equation in y-intercept, slope y-intercept form is y equals m, which is 1. And I don't even have to write the 1, x plus b, and b is 2. So that's the equation in slope-intercept form. If you like to write the 1 in here, by all means, but if we don't write it, we know there's a 1 in here. In general form, you have, sorry?
Wait, I'm still a little confused. Why did you pick the, does it matter which one you pick if it's like, which, is it like?
Yeah,
the
you pick
negative
the 3
version
or
or
5 or the -5 and -3, it doesn't matter. Both of them will give you the same answer.
Okay, is there one where like it doesn't give you the same answer?
No, it always gives you the same answer because these points follow the same line because this and this, see, the y-intercept is right here. You could even look at it and say it's +2, but I don't want you to do it by graphing. I want you to do it algebraically. And so I could see the
Okay,
y-intercept
thank
is
you.
2. And as you see, the slope is going up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. So it's always 1 over 1, which gives me 1 as the slope. Now, if you're writing this equation in a general form, remember, we make this 0 and we write x and we move the y to the other side. So it becomes -y plus 2. That's what we have. Okay. So remember general form, the x coefficient always have to be positive. Since the x is already positive, I move the y to this side and make it x minus y plus 2. Now, how about this? And after I do this, guys, I'm gonna let you do C for yourselves, okay? But I wanna do this first. So now we gotta calculate the slope of this. M equals, of course, x1, y1, x2, y2. So it's 5 minus 5 over -5 minus 3, which gives me 0 over -8. And 0 divided by anything gives you 0. Now let me just plot these 2 points. Okay, so we have 3 and 5. 3 and 5 is right here. Let's use a different color of pen. 3 and 5 is right here. And the other point is -5 and 5, which is right there. Now, if we connect the 2 points, if I connect the 2 points with a line. What kind of line is this? What we call this line right here? Anybody? You could just type it if you're shy to say it. Just type what kind of line do we have here? No. What kind of line do we have? Okay, yes, Taha. I heard from Nigar, but I haven't heard from Jumana. Okay, maybe I'll make myself
Okay.
more clear by making another line, let's say, and the other line looks like
Does this line only go through the y-intercept?
now what kind of line do we have? So I shown you two lines now, the green line and the blue line. What do we call the green line?
Y? It's like
No, just what's the green line? What is it called? Like the kind of line, how it is, and how that this line going. What we call the blue line and what do we call the green line?
Allah, I forgot. It's like
Okay.
I know how to do, but I just forgot its name.
So that blue line we call it vertical,
Oh yeah.
and the horizontal line we call it horizontal because it's horizontal. We call it horizontal. A horizontal line is always y.
Oh, I thought you meant some sort of like complicated math line. That's why I said that. So I forgot what was.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. So that's why I drew the other
Right.
one to give you a little bit of a hint. Some people got the hint, some people didn't.
Yeah.
So a horizontal line, it's always y.
Because I couldn't see it. I couldn't really see the hint.
Eh?
It's really at the bottom. I couldn't see the hint. It's really at the bottom.
The vertical.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, I didn't really see it.
That's okay. So the horizontal line here is y equals 5, which is the answer for this. The answer for this, when you find the slope is 0, you don't have to do any work after that. You just go, okay, this is y equals 5. Why didn't we do all of this work? Because with a horizontal line, you don't have to do all of this work. You just go to this line, and if you look at it as you go along, even though x changes, but y is always 5 on this line. See, y is 5 here, y is 5 there, y is 5. That's why we call it the line y equals 5. And if you want to write this in general form, you move the 5 to the other side, so it becomes y minus 5 equals 0. Any
I don't
question?
really understand still.
Eh?
Like, because like for A, you made us do B, try to find B, even though I guess, is it because this one's a 0?
Because the slope is 0, and since it's a horizontal line, it's a horizontal line.
How would you know it's a horizontal line?
Because it's horizontal. See, this is horizontal. It's not. It doesn't have a slope. It's like right horizontal. It goes straight like that. Vertical, it goes straight from
Yeah,
up
but
here.
how would you know on the equation? How would you know on the equation that it is a horizontal or vertical?
Okay. So
Because like, are we gonna have to draw?
it's whenever you find the slope is 0, go draw the line. And once you draw the line, look at in the horizontal line, x always changes, but the y doesn't. The y is always 5. That's why we call it y equals 5. Yeah. And with the vertical line, it's now, just know the slope of the vertical line, m, here will be undefined. Why? Because if we take 2 points on this line, let's take this one here and this one, which is 2 and 2, and 2 and 8. And if we try to do the slope between these two here, we're going to get y2 minus y1, so 8 minus 2 over x2 minus x1, which is 2 minus 2. And we're going to get 6 over 0. We cannot divide by 0, so that's why the slope is undefined. When the slope is undefined, plot this graph. And now I'm going to ask all of you, what's the equation of this graph here, the blue graph? So just write it down, please.
Wait, how do you want us to write it down?
Well, you have to use the
Why?
same strategy that I found the equation of the horizontal line. Also the vertical line, you don't have to do any of the work to find out B and all of that. You just write me the equation of the line. Good. So Jumana, good. Taha is good. So go for it. Nigar.
Like, I still don't get it.
Okay. I'm gonna answer your
Like, I
question.
don't get what you're asking.
What's the X value here?
X2, like, and Y.
What's the X value here?
X -2.
The X value, what's that? So X is -2, and what's the X value here?
Also -2.
And what's the X value here?
-2.
What's the X value here?
-2.
What's the Y value here?
4.
What's the Y value here?
-3.
But what's the X value here?
-2.
The X value here.
-2.
So therefore, the equation of this line is X always equals -2. That's the equation of this line.
Oh, that's. I didn't get what you're asking at first.
Okay.
Sorry.
So Jumana and Taha, even though you wrote them and I said you're correct, I didn't look deep enough. Why did you say X equals? Why did you say X equals 2? You want to correct your answers? Yeah, it's me bad.
Yes, sorry, I accidentally forgot to write negative.
It's me bad because I wrote 2 and 8 here and I wrote 2 and 2 here. It's -2. Sorry, it's me bad. Taha. Okay, can you write the general form for this question? For this equation, so we determined X equals -2. Write this in general form. The general form is going to be X, move the -2 to the other side, +2 equals 0. That's the general form. So I want you to start on A on your own now. And it's -2 and 10. And -2. Oops, that's +2, sorry. -2 and -6. But this here is +2. So find the equation of this line the same way I did it with the other points right here. I'll give you um 5 minutes, 10 minutes to do it. Okay. And then you have to do, so that's 1, that is 2. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, how far did you get? I need to see, I want only one person send me their answer. I need to see all of your answers. Okay, so this is the slope intercept form. And the general form is the general form. It's AX plus BY plus C equals 0. Okay. Now, if I have 2 points on the graph, I could find the slope first and then find the equation in this form and then switch this equation to this equation. Now what I have here, I have 2 and 10, which is right here. Okay, let's just use blue so we know that's the equation or that's the question that we're dealing with. So I think it's light blue. So we have this here, and also they gave me -2 and -6. So now here, what we're doing is this is basically a line. Yeah, a line. I'm just gonna connect these 2 points, even though it goes further than these 2 points. So what I want to do, I want to find the slope and the y-intercept. When you graph it, sometimes you could see the y-intercept right away, but they say don't count on that. Always find out what it is using algebra. So here, the first thing I'm going to do is calculate the slope, which is -6 minus 10 and -2 minus 2, which gives me -16 over -4. When divided, I get 4. So now, after finding 4 there, I'm going to write y equals 4x plus b. Now, Nigar, which point do you want me to use to find out what b is? Which point? You choose the point.
So it doesn't matter. -1 this time.
-1?
Actually, let's do positive.
Which
So
point? Tell me which point. Tell me the whole point.
2 and 10.
Okay. So I'll use 2 and
10,
10
yeah.
as x and y to solve for b. So all you need to do is just sub these numbers in here. 10, y is 10, x is 2, so that's 4 times 2 plus b. 10 equals 8 plus b. 10 minus 8 is 2, 8 minus 8 is 0, and you're left with b. Or 8 plus 2 gives you 10, so b must be 2. And therefore, your equation is y equals 4x plus 2, since you found b is 2. If you want to write
Do we subtract 10 and 8?
Eh?
Do we subtract 10? Like, so we multiply
Yeah, I
4
take
times
away 8
2.
from both sides. Yeah, I take away 8 from both sides. I've sent you that video with the
Oh, okay. Yeah, because,
watch
from
that video. I even sent you guys a video that shows you how you do it in North America and how you do it in
yeah, I saw that one.
yeah. So, but don't just see it. Like try to figure out what we're doing. You're showing the North American way. If you want to stick to the North American way, by all means. If you want to be quicker and do it, the Middle East and the Far East way, then you could start becoming quicker and do it quicker. It doesn't matter for me. I'm just giving you the choice to choose whichever one works for you. And I'm hoping one day that will kind of evolve to do it a little bit faster. So now we have the equation y equals 4x plus 2. If I want to change this to general form, we always want to make sure the coefficient of x is positive. So since it is positive here, I don't want to move these 2 to the other side. I just want to move the y to the right side. So I write 0 equals 4x, and I move the y to this side. When I move the y to this side, it's positive changes to negative. So it becomes minus y. And then I have the plus 2, and that's the general form. So far, so good?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what's the answer for question 2? Did anybody do it? X1,
I put it 7
X1, Y1,
minus 5.
X2, Y2.
Yeah.
So -5.
Yeah, I did that.
Minus -5 over 7 minus 3. -5 minus -5, that becomes -5 plus 5, which is 0.
I mixed up the y.
I said always like try to plot it as well. So
I did put that, but somehow I got mixed up.
Plot the points. Like it doesn't hurt to plot the points. So 3 and -5 is right here. And 7 and -5 is right here. So if I connect these 2 points, what kind of line am I getting now? What kind of line is this?
Is it vertical?
No, it's not vertical.
Horizontal?
Horizontal, because see, horizontal is this way, vertical is this way. So this is horizontal. What's the equation of this line? So which value is not changing? Is it the x or the y? On this line, which value is not changing? Nigari, you stay there as well. The y is not changing. So what's the y value? what's the y value that doesn't change?
No.
And Jumana, you have to answer, what's the y value that's not changing?
Y minus 5?
So it's -5. Y is -5.
-5.
Yeah, so y equals -5. That's what this line is, because it's always -5. If it's always -5, the y value everywhere here is -5. The x is changing, but the y is not changing. Now, in general form, you move the -5 to this side, it becomes y plus 5 equals 0. Because when you move numbers to the other side of the equal sign, they change from negative to positive and from positive to negative. So this is the general form. Make sense?
Yeah, can we do one more?
Okay, here's a third one. I'm just gonna clear all of this. Or maybe I don't want to clear it. I just use a different color. So find the equation of this line right here. Sometimes it's even worth it just to plot it, plot the 2 points and then connect them, and maybe you could answer it a lot quicker. So I'll just give you a little bit of time to answer this. The first thing I want to do, plot these points. Okay. So 10 and -8 is right here. And then my other point is 10 and 4. 10 and 4 is right here. Now, if I plot these points right here, if I go take a line that goes through them, what kind of line is this? What kind of line is this, guys?
Horizontal. Oh, wait, you have vertical.
Vertical. Now, I said when it's vertical or horizontal, okay? You don't have to do any of this work. When you have a horizontal line, and when you have a vertical line, what's the slope of horizontal line? And what's the slope of a vertical line? I mentioned that earlier. Guys, come on. For a horizontal line, the slope is 0. A vertical line, we said the slope is undefined. Listen to what I'm saying really carefully. Okay? Good. If it's a horizontal or vertical, if it's vertical, you go look at which value doesn't change on this. Like there's a value that doesn't change. Is it the X or the Y? Like if you look at the Y here is -11, the Y here is -5. But how about the X? What's X here? X here is 10, X here is 10, X here is 10, X here is 10. So that means this line, the equation of it is X equals 10, because that's the variable that's not changing. And if X equals 10, the general form, you just move the 10 to the other side, becomes X minus 10 equals 0. So you're just looking for the value that's not changing, if it's X or Y. In the horizontal and the vertical lines, there's either the X or the Y is not changing. In the vertical is X that doesn't change. So whatever the X is always, oops, that's 11, eh? I'm gonna change this to 11, guys, just because I didn't eyeball it really well. It went through 11, so I'm just making this 11. Somehow I was thinking it's 10, but it's 11. I plotted it the wrong way. So this, we're gonna change these two equations. So X equals 11, X minus 11 equals 0. I'm supposed to plot 10 and -8. I plotted 10, 11 and -8. Yeah. So it's just easier to change the numbers. Now, does that make sense? Since I don't want to go into anything else, and our next session is going to be this chapter as well. So I'm going to finish it off next week because I spend a lot of time on finding the equation from slope intercept form. So here, I'm just gonna give you 2 more questions, please. 3 questions, okay? The first one and the second one is gonna be very fast, so I expect you to do them fast and tell me what your answers are right away, okay? Here's the question 1 here. It's gonna be, so find the equation of this line. And then number 3, so I'll give you 10 minutes to do them.